Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back to another Monster High ranking. So today we are going to be ranking all of the Ari Hauntington dolls that Monster High ever released. If this is your first time seeing a video like this from me, hi. I have been doing a series on my channel for a while now where I take each character from Monster High and I rank the dolls that they got. I am only doing G1 and G2 just because Gen 3 kind of came out in the middle of me doing this series and I thought it would be easier to keep things consistent. And with where I'm at in this series, I have a few more dolls that I can dedicate a whole video to, or a few more characters that I can dedicate a whole video to. Soon enough, I'm going to get to the point where I do just like a conglomeration video. But for my ease of like organization, I'm doing the few characters that we have left that merit their own video in alphabetical order, which means that today's video is actually one that I'm slightly less enthused about because, like I said, we are ranking all of the Ari Hauntington dolls. It's not that I feel any like vitriol towards this character or that I don't like them as a character, because honestly I don't know anything about the character. I never saw like the webisodes or the shows or anything, but I just think I've never looked at an Ari Hauntington doll and been like blown away. So this might be a bit more negative a ranking. I'm sorry in advance if like you are a big Ari Hauntington fan and I'm ranking her really bad, because it's not personal. These are just my opinions, and if you disagree, that's totally cool. But yeah, I just don't think I've really connected with her. So maybe it'll be surprisingly positive, but I'm not expecting a lot from this ranking. That being said, I would love to hear your guys' rankings in the comments. And I already did my disclaimer. Wow, out of order this time. But yeah, I guess that's everything I need to say. So let's go ahead and get into the ranking. So if you haven't seen these before, I do all of my rankings in Procreate, and the tiers that I use are perfect, good, good but not for me. That's for dolls that I think have a good design but that I just don't personally like. Mediocre, bad but it gets worse, and then burn it. I also have a couple of different dolls on each layer for like behind the scenes reasons. Just this video is a lot to prepare. I don't have to bore you guys with that though. So on the first layer here, we've got the music class Ari Hauntington and then the swimsuit. I'm going to go ahead and start with music class because it's definitely going to be the better of the two. I don't think I'm a huge fan of like this particular style of hats, but I do think it goes okay with the rest of the outfit. Her dress is fine. I wish that the pattern continued on to the back. Like you can see in the stock photo even that the back of the dress is just like plain. So I feel like I would have given her more points if that had continued onward, just a little more cohesive and a little bit more detail. I do love the shoes. I think those are really pretty shoes. And I think that the keyboard that she comes with is pretty cool as well. Like all of the chain detail is pretty sick. So overall, this is so hard because I'm like, I don't like her, but I also don't think she's terrible. I'm going to say good but not for me, I guess, because honestly, I don't think that the design is that bad. I just personally don't really like it. Swimsuit, however, this is atrocious. This whole line was really bad. They're just painted on swimwear, and frankly, I think that they're not very pretty swimsuits either. I'm not a huge fan. She's going to go straight into burn it. Then we have on the left Tea Party, and then on the right, How Do You Boo? I think that was the right one. Yes, How Do You Boo? Okay, I feel like this is a good time to address this. I'm so confused by Ari Hauntington because I feel like she doesn't have a very cohesive or consistent style. Like if you look at, I know it's all pixelated now, but this doll and then these two dolls, if it weren't for the same like color scheme, I would think these are three separate characters because they don't at all seem like they go like to the same person. I don't know. I just think the characterization, at least style-wise, is very weird. For the Tea Party, I think I like the shoes. I am confused by like, oh, it's teacups. Okay, that's cute. I like the shoes. Again, I don't think the dress is very impressive. I don't know if it's the cut or the fabric. It just looks like it wouldn't be super high quality. She doesn't really have any accessories. I think the hair is very interesting. I think that that's fun and like different. But oh gosh, I think I'm going to put her in mediocre, mostly because I think the hair and the shoes are cool, but the dress is eh, and then she doesn't have any accessories. So I feel like that's what she should get. This one, again, like it's so hard to judge because they do look like such vastly different characters. It's like hard for me to decide what the standard is that I should be basing these dolls on. The dress I think I find less offensive than a lot of the other ones. I like the shoes, and the bag is also cute. The hair on this one's kind of boring. I still wouldn't buy her ever. So I feel like I have to put her in good but not for me, but I don't think that that's a terrible design if you take away the fact that it seems inconsistent. Then we have a couple of different versions of Welcome to Monster High editions of Ari Hauntington. The one on the left is significantly more exciting than the one on the right, so I guess we'll start with this one. We'll start with the less exciting one. Again, like this dress is giving me kind of like Flower Child vibes, which is not what I was getting from the other one, so I'm just so confused. I don't understand. The shoes are the same on both of these dolls, except maybe a slightly different color. And the shoes are fine. I do love the belt here with the music notes. That's very cute. I think, though, overall, I'm really just not impressed. I think I'm going to put this one in mediocre. I'm trying to be, like, a little bit nice to combat the fact that I actively don't like any of these dolls. This one, okay, this is interesting because, yeah, she is, like, the more exciting version of the one I just put in mediocre, but also she kind of looks aggressively like a knockoff Spectra. And I know that that could apply in a lot of ways to a lot of these dolls, but this one especially is giving me very aggressive Spectra vibes. Only so much worse, because I love Spectra. She's one of my favorite characters, so, like, this is not it. Oh, God. I know that this is objectively a more detailed version out of the two that we were just looking at, but I actually like this one less, and I think I'm going to put it in bad, but it gets worse. And then last of all, we have Dessert and Electrified, which is not a good note to end on. The Dessert one, I think, I've said this before in a lot of videos, Sweet Screams was a top tier dessert themed line. I'm not typically a fan of dessert themed lines, but I can look at that and say that was really good. So every other sweet themed line that Monster High had just looked vastly inferior when compared to that. Like, you can't look at this, even though Ari Hauntington never got a Sweet Screams doll, I can't look at this and not be like, wow, this would have been way better if this were released with Sweet Screams. It's just really, really childish. I know that, like, these are aimed at kids, but it's childish in a bad way to me. And I don't love the detail. It just feels very uninspired. I'm going to put this in Burn It. I actually really, really hate that. And then lastly is Electrified. I just, what do I say? Like, what do I say about this? I think that the pattern on the dress could be interesting if it had been used in a different setting. Like, that's not overall a bad pattern. It's very bold, so you have to, like, surround it with the right stuff, but I think that could have been cool. It just really isn't cool here. Her hair is not it. There's definitely a way to do crimped hair right, and, like, you can have a doll that looks really good with crimped hair. Like the LOL OMG Fierce Neonlicious, the sections of her hair that are crimped are so pretty. I love that. This is not it. The headband is so bad. I think I'm also going to put this in Burn It, which is not good. That's it. Like, that's all we have to rank for Ari. So this is the ranking. My worst fears definitely came true. This is a pretty negative one, and I do feel bad. I am sorry. This is not a character that I ever really resonated with. I think her designs, like, even as pixelated as they are, you can see how all over the place they are. They just are not consistent to me. And so I think that makes it harder for me to connect with her as a, like, character design, because I just don't know what I'm supposed to be looking at or looking for. So yeah, this one was kind of a bit of a bummer. Sorry about that. But, I mean, I tried to be nice, and I think that that counts. So yes, that is going to be my Monster High ranking for today. If this was the first one that you've seen from me, I promise you, most of the time, I have at least a doll that goes a lot better than the dolls on this list did. This is very out of the ordinary for me. Like, even Ghoulia. Ghoulia is my least favorite character out of the, like, main set of characters. And even her ranking video, I had some that I ranked pretty positively. So, like, this is not the norm. I'm sorry if this was your introduction. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of Ari Hauntington. So sorry if this was a little bit more negative of one, but the good news is that the other ones that I have coming up are going to be more exciting and at least like a wider spread of rankings and just more positive overall. So if you didn't like this one, I am sorry. please give the next ones a shot. I promise it's gonna get better from here on out. But yeah, I would love to hear what your thoughts on the video and Ari Hauntington are in the comments. If you did enjoy this video, if you could give it a like, that would be cool. You can subscribe to see more, and I also have my Instagram and my coffee linked in the description if you want to support me on other platforms. But yes, regardless of how you feel about this slightly iffy ranking, I hope that you have a lovely rest of your day or your night or whatever it might be, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye guys!